Okay, so Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness. Well, actually, there's about 5 different names for it. You've got Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 3, just Army of Darkness, or for some reason, Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness. I don't know why it's called that, because the character isn't called Bruce Campbell. The person who plays Ash is called Bruce Campbell, and it's Ash in the film. So that really doesn't make much sense. You thought it would be Ash versus Army of Darkness, but there you go. Now, once again, standalone film. You don't have to necessarily watch the first two to know that the third what happens in the third one for Ash to be back in the past. There is about a 5-minute prologue which explains the first two films and shows the footage right from the end of the second film where Ash is sucked into the portal back into the medieval time to stop the Deadites from destroying the world then. Very stupid film. I'm not going to lie, it's more comedy than horror. There's a scene in it where Ash goes into a windmill, breaks a mirror, and all these mini Ashes come out of it and start playing tricks on him and start basically end up like hitting him and things like that. There ends up being 2 Ashes, an evil Ash and a good Ash, and literally it's your typical good army versus bad army situation in this film. Once again, like the last time, people who are possessed, the Deadites, they look stupid, just like the last film. Very funny film though, you cannot take this seriously whatsoever. There's 2 endings to this, I believe. The first one, which isn't on the DVD, is actually the one I believe got shown in cinema, and that's where Ash wakes up, well, not wakes up, stops daydreaming, and he's still working in the S-Mart, the shop where he works, and he's imagined it all. The second one is that he takes basically too many drops of this potion, so he sleeps too far. But it doesn't make sense, because it's basically saying that he ends up in a futuristic London in the 2100s, even though he was in the 1300s, took 7 drops, so he'd only be about 10 years into his future. Don't make much sense to me, but the ending is absolutely hilarious. There's talk of a new one coming out sometime next year, and if so, I really want to see that. It should be brilliant, because it's based in a futuristic apocalyptic London, judging by the end of the third one. Not as good as the previous 2. I'd probably have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, this is probably the greatest horror trilogy ever made, and you really could not compare any other film to it. I mean, sure, Cabin in the Woods came close to the same idea for the first one, but this is so much better for the fact it's original and it's basically a classic.